Growing up, I was the weakest person in the world, I thought, in my mind. And the most important conversation is the one you have with yourself. So when you think that, it becomes truth. I do believe now there's not many people on the planet who can do what I do. I don't do it for money. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for a professional sport. I don't do it for a trophy. I don't know many people who get up and get after it like I do on a daily basis for absolutely nothing. No one sees me. No one knows me. No one knows half the crap I do on a daily basis. And I don't know of anybody who would do it for nothing, just for pure fact of I'm trying to get harder and tougher mentally and physically every day of my life. This is how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to be battered. I'm supposed to be bruised. I'm supposed to be beaten. This is how it's supposed to look, man. This is how, and then my mindset started slowly changing to it's supposed to look like a flower garden, a rose garden to, no, man. It's supposed to look like a sewer. It's supposed to be hard, man. It's supposed to be grimy. It's supposed to be gritty. It's supposed to be horrible. It's supposed to be really ugly. And the more my mind changed, the more I thought to myself, no, I'm supposed to fail. This is how I'm going to grow. And the more that changed, the more my reality changed, the more my mindset changed, the more my life changed, the more I started to accept the fact that I can take a lot of pain. And I started looking at my life as the ultimate training ground to where I wanted to go. So I was starting to develop this indestructible toolbox along this path. Even though my life gave me a lot of challenges, so people say, oh, well, how can I become hard if my dad didn't beat me, if I didn't stutter, if I wasn't called names, if I wasn't bullied, if I didn't endure all the things you endured? Yeah, all those things can make you hard, but they can make you very soft. I made a choice, and those things didn't make me hard. I had to find strength within them. Where I became hard was the discipline, the self-discipline. Key word is self. Discipline is great. Self-discipline makes you a master of yourself because no one is helping you. That's where you really start to callous your mind. You callous your mind not through enduring a hard childhood or a hard life. It's enduring the things that make you uncomfortable, which is we all have this list in our head of the things that we want to stay very clear of. Some of us are afraid of heights. Some of us are afraid of getting up early. Some of us are afraid of cold water. Some of us are afraid of going to college. Whatever it may be, we have this list that we are staying very clear of. You need to get that list, put it in front of you, and start making that list the only list you go from. And during this list is how you start to create the calloused mind. You're never going to be able to callous your mind by going to this magical list in the golden tool shed that makes you feel all comfortable and fuzzy inside. There's no callus there. Like I did 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours to break the Guinness Book of World Records for most pull-ups. In that time period, I did 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. 67,000 pull-ups in 9 months. What happens to your hands is they become calloused. Calluses protect your hands against that hard, nasty, gritty ass bar that you're gonna touch thousands and thousands of times. You have to do that to your mind. Your mind has to touch hardship. It has to be uncomfortable. It has to be put in a situation where it's forced to grow. If you're never forcing your mind to grow, there's no calluses. Calluses will never start to grow. So it starts there. When I was growing up, I realized that a lot of things would motivate me, like the round 14 of Rocky, man. Oh my God, there it is, man. I'm so motivated. Motivation only lasts for so long. And I call motivation crap because it only lasts for so long. Motivation is just that kindling. But basically, that motivation can get put out by a storm real quick. And a storm in our minds can be paying bills, your wife or husband on your nerves, your kids being sick, or your job getting at you, or You're not losing weight fast enough, or you failed a test. All these things that life bring you can totally bring the storm of life and put that 1 hour of fuel out. That's motivation. A lot of people who are hearing this right now might get motivated from my story or something I said, and they may want to go out and start running. And they may put their running shoes on, and they may make it to a quarter of a mile like I did the first time. And at a quarter mile, you may be winded and extremely exhausted. And you may never want to run again. And your motivation may be gone because it hurt real bad. But a lot of you who are hearing this will go way beyond motivated, and they will find a drive and a passion and an inspiration and an obsession. And when you start saying words like obsession and drive, you become a person that many people don't understand who you are anymore. You become a person that people want to put a title on of you're crazy, or you're just, what's wrong with you, because they can't understand what is driving you. Many people in this world don't have the kind of drive to push them through things that are extremely painful. And that's why I talk about motivation and drive so much, is that you want to be a person that life doesn't get in the way of what you have to accomplish. When you're motivated, life will put that kindling out, and you will lose the spark, and you will go right back down to your pathetic life. When you're driven, you're living off of that big log in the woods that has that 10,000 hour fuel that burns for days and hours, and it keeps burning and burning and burning. So that's what drive is about, man. And you want to get to a point where no matter if you haven't paid your bills, if you don't have the right money, you still do what you have to do to succeed in life. And that's what it's about. So we all have these voices in our head. We like to not listen to them. The one that comforts us and keeps us nice and warm and cuddly and gives us cookies and milk at nighttime. We like that voice. The one we want to always hear, which is why people don't like to listen to me a lot. Some people do, some people don't. The only thing that changes you is being real. So basically, I had to have the courage to go back in it because nothing was getting done. I kept on going to that nice cuddly voice in my head saying, you know what? You don't need to do this. That's too much work, man. You've earned this. You deserve this. And that mentality got me to 297 pounds, fat, out of shape. To me, a loser. To me, making $1,000 a month and making a ton of mistakes. Because mistakes happen on the easy side of life. You take the easy road, the easy path, there's a lot of mistakes over there. The hard journey, you don't make too many mistakes over here because it's too hard. You don't want to repeat it, so it's challenging.